Welcome to Hortiftuta Machila Media. In today's program, we will discuss the historical challenges Africa has faced and the external influences that have created significant issues for Ethiopia and the Oromo people. Please stay tuned until the end. For centuries, we have been told about Ethiopia's 3,000-year-old history, a tale repeated so often that it almost becomes unquestionable. But how much of it is actually true? The stories passed down about Ethiopia's history do not accurately reflect the realities on the ground. Most of what is considered Ethiopian history consists of external narratives imposed by foreigners who brought their own perspectives and frameworks. Example: religion in the Ethiopian Empire. The religions practiced within the Ethiopian Empire were heavily influenced by external forces from nations such as Greece, Persia, Rome, Armenia, and Arabia. Figures such as Alexander the Great, Constantine I, Augustus, Athanasius, and emperors like Chambry II played significant roles, alongside missionaries such as Frumentius. These external influences, starting from the 1st century AD, targeted the indigenous Oromo people, the eldest African population, displacing them within their homeland. Regions including modern-day northern Ethiopia and Eritrea, Sudan, became focal points for replacing traditional Oromo customs with the cultural norms of Greeks, Romans, and Arabs. This process went beyond cultural replacement. It involved genocidal acts and systemic efforts to erase the true history of the Oromo people. Historical evidence found in writings from various Ethiopian regimes confirms the deliberate marginalization and oppression of the Oromo. For those who glorify Ethiopia's fabricated past, it is important to focus on building a truthful and inclusive present that ensures a better future. On the relationship between the Habesha and Hebrews. For example, some narratives connecting the Habesha people and Israel are often based on fabricated histories. To truly understand the history of the Oromo, one must consider the broader context of African civilizations and the impact of foreign invasions. The people responsible for the civilization of Kemet, ancient Egypt, were black Africans. There were several invasions of foreigners into Egypt through the 16-mile land bridge, today's Suez Canal, from 1675 BCE onward. The Hyksos from Western Asia were the first to invade. Later, the Habaru, meaning dusty ones, now known as Hebrews, came in search of grain during a famine in the Palestine region. These groups initiated the plunder of Kemet. Following them were the Persians, Greeks, Romans, and eventually Arabs. In the 19th century CE, the British also attempted to annex the region, but were largely unsuccessful. These invasions, migrations, the Arab slave trade, and intermarriage between races and ethnic groups greatly altered the demographics and phenotypes of North Africa. For instance, Moulay Ismail of Meknes had 25,000 European slaves who helped build his colossal stables. This narrative highlights how Africa has been shaped and disrupted by external influences. In Ethiopia, the impact has been even greater, affecting the identity and sovereignty of its indigenous peoples. Today, it is our duty to uncover these truths and highlight the challenges African populations have faced, ensuring that their voices and stories are heard.